At the moment, New South Wales, we are eating our own. Now, you can only play as well as the opposition lets you. That was nearly a perfect performance in Origin. Robert Toya made an error in the 68th minute. Other than that, they gave New South Wales absolutely nothing. They were disciplined. There was a few penalties went New South Wales' way in the second half. But nearly all the ball in the first half was coming out of trouble off kick reception footy. So we're not giving Queensland enough credit for how good they were. You can only play as good as the opposition lets you. Second half, I thought New South Wales were poor, playing too structured, but all in all, they were too good. They were way too good.
I think that what they did was outworked New South Wales. I know we had a plan, and you could see early the plan looked like it was working. We're moving the ball, and we're getting the ball wide, and there were spaces.
But do you think that comes with the extra fatigue?
Well, they fatigued. Well, Queensland played a lot like a Penrith team. They sort of just fatigued. They kept getting to their kicks. They kept trying to compete for their kicks, and then all of a sudden a Tommy Dearden or someone with that little bit of flash in him sort of stood up and made a moment. I thought the try when he was getting thrown out, Robert Toya, he flicked it back in, and all of a sudden someone was there, a Queensland player was there, he took off, and that was the end of it. That was a try.
The other bad one for me was when they kicked downfield. I think it was Stephen Crichton, and Xavier Coates gets it that far from the in goal. He runs in field. Connor Watson's chasing. Connor actually turns around and puts it, where are you?
Where are you?
That was a worrying thing for me. And we didn't have a plan B. They had the rushing defence, in particular on Queensland's right side. They rushed us hard. That was a bad boo-boo early. Can't get those wrong in Origin. But we didn't have a plan B. Someone had to say, righto, they're rushing, righto, we're changing. Now, this is the one I'm talking about. Watch Connor Watson at the post. So we all stop. Watch Connor Watson's reaction. Look, he puts his hands out. Where are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, we stopped.
Because we thought the ball was going dead. You cannot stop moving your legs at that level, at the highest level. If you walk, you get found out. We walked on some of the big occasions. Some of the big occasions, we just weren't there. Which, does it go down to desire or it's fatigue? It's probably both.
There was a moment after when Zach come jamming in and missed the tackle.
On Shibasaki.
Yeah, we did a kick and a chase, and then Zach and Stephen Crichton actually ran over each other, and one of them fell over, then Crichton fell over. Like, from early on in the game, I felt like we started to play on our own. We stopped working as a team, and the one thing Queensland did unbelievably well was they just worked as a team. Mate, every time we shifted the ball, New South Wales turned around, and there was 3 or 4 jerseys there, not just one. I think we're a bit the opposite. We got really isolated early in the game. And that's from that kick chase, no errors. That's that pressure. I think it just gets you isolated in your own brain, and all of a sudden you start playing like that.
The defensive plan, in particular on your right side, to rush to keep the ball from Latrell, how happy were you that came off?
Yeah, well, there were obviously some deficiencies in Game 2 and even Game 1 where they scored a whole heap of tries down there. So, you know, I think a lot of credit's got to go to the coaching staff, not me, but, you know, Josh Hannay, you know, who worked tirelessly with those outside backs in decision-making and getting that right. Matt Ballon, Nate Miles and Alfie Langer. So JT was in there as well doing some stuff with Tom Dearden and the halves. So
was that Tommy controlling that edge and deciding when to wedge, when to jam and when not?
Well, I think it's about everyone supporting each other and doing the same thing. So getting on the same page and building that continuity, which was hard because probably my decisions about changing, you know, positions all the time. But, you know, they did a great job. They did a really good job of connecting and working together. And when someone made a decision, well, you see everyone supporting him behind there. So it's about working as a team and doing things together. This was the one
for me. Look at that. And then, you know, they're playing that. And the further the halfback goes into the line, the less time you give to your outside men, especially if the defences.
Well, I can't believe teams sit so much. I can't believe halves and centres sit so much. Like, once someone hits the line, it's really a good time for someone from outside in.
Just to jam.
Just to jam. Pick your mark and jam. I watch it week in, week out. Watching the Dragons last night, the first 2 tries. Kyle and they're just sitting on their heels, they just go sink someone into him around the back, and it's a 3-on-2 easy with heaps of room. Like, who's jamming and pressuring? They just overcoach these players so much to stop thinking, and they just put them like robots. And it just doesn't work. Like, as soon as you get a good player that can read a game and read defence, then they just eat them alive. Like, that's what they did so well. Someone made a decision and everyone just worked around them. Munster's brilliant at it. Just sometimes jams, sometimes stays back, but whatever happens, they all work together and back each other.